Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. Sometimes you hear people say XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created. The truth is, there is going to be an explosion of digital assets coming, not far from now. I'm talking this year, 2020. And a lot of thought that went into this video was spurred by this paper. It comes from a think tank established in 1993. It's the Center for the Study of Financial Innovation. It's governed by Sir Malcolm Williamson and supported by nearly 100 entities, including the Bank of Japan, the London Stock Exchange, JP Morgan, Financial Conduct Authority, etc. The author, David Birch, is one of the top 50 fintech advisors in the world. He has a book that is coming out scheduled June 2020. It's called The Coming Currency Cold Wars. And I like his tagline. It is, in the future, everyone will be famous for 15 megabytes. So you can search on his videos. You can see his keynote from Sybos last year. You can catch him on Twitter. He'll also be one of the speakers at the Virtual Consensus Conference in May. I think he is one to really pay attention to. Now, XRP, it was designed originally to provide banks a way to free up locked capital for those cross-border remittances, right? And the solution, it makes sense. It works, and it's being used. And it's made the payment sector more of a level playing field, especially for those little-known startups grabbing market share from the big banks. It's making the payment space brutally competitive when combined with Ripple's technology. But I can tell you, no castle is impregnable. And as Mr. Birch explains, the ramparts have already been breached by Facebook's Libra. With the smartphone in place, we are ripe for another really big leap forward. And the reaction from the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, is the creation of a brand new unit, and it's led by the former Central Bank Executive Board member, Benoit Cœuré. And they're exploring private digital currencies. And I should tell you, they are also creating their own digital currency, and they're doing it with the Swiss National Bank. So it was, on February 4th that Benoit gave a like on Twitter to Marlon Ray's tweet. And the tweet was the XRP adoption boom. And I think that many people thought this was the tipping of the hat to XRP. But I think it's more to the proof that he is studying the space. And you can find that there are other likes to other technology companies, one of which is a like to David Marcus. He's the co-creator of Libra. So I think that he is just being a very good student right now. And thank goodness we have these online tools that tell us how to pronounce these difficult French last names.
Cœuré.
Cœuré. Okay, Benoit Cœuré. So getting back on track and back to the paper by Birch. He says that predictions are, of course, difficult. And his general feeling is that asset-backed currencies are the most interesting and the most likely to succeed. Now, I'm not so sure about that, but this is one of the reasons why I'm going to do an AMA on Monday with the CEO of Terra. It's a dual token ecosystem, a payment network supported by a family of stablecoins pegged to the world's major currencies. I'm doing my best to study, to understand, and to keep up with this space because it is unbelievably going so fast. So remember, you must not be a frog in the well. Now, I know it's a lot of work. You know, it's much easier to just buy low, hodl, and sell high. However, on Friday, Ripple's Warren Paul Anderson introduced the developer reflections. This is interesting because there's going to be new content that highlights the developers who are using their talent to use the XRP ledger and the XRP API and other tools in their kit. So why does this matter to you if you're an XRP holder? Because quite frankly, this is a very early time in the grand scheme of payments. And we just don't know what the future holds. And I think you should never put all your eggs in one use case basket. So I think that XRP has unbelievable utility, but to expect that it's only going to succeed on the grand scheme of things with just one use case, I think is not realistic. And take SBI as an example. Mr. Kitao never puts one egg in one basket. This is an announcement that came last Thursday that the 23rd exchange to be licensed in Japan that is backed by SBI by an undisclosed amount opened its doors to new users, and it'll start trading in May. It's led by the mastermind Tomo Onishi. He's a former Deutsche Bank manager, and he says that there is no asset that is absolutely safe, but he is a bull on cryptocurrency prices. And you can see that they want to begin XRP and Litecoin trading, and he hopes to build a swaps market to offer investors a tool to hedge against price volatility. So it's just not about spot trading. The digital footprint that SBI is achieving and the fact that he's putting as many eggs into as many baskets as possible should also be a good indicator. A Japanese analyst last week says that traditional investors will come flocking to crypto, and that basically the outlook for most asset classes now is negative, to say the least. But total pessimism need not be applied in the case of crypto. And that this analyst believes that the stock prices will struggle to pull off that unlikely V-shaped recovery. So as such, investors will need to find ways to invest into other assets different than stocks. So as investors, they will be very reluctant to just leave their holdings in fiat bank accounts and just let them sleep. So he believes that the search for uncorrelated assets will naturally lead investors, no matter how crypto skeptic they have been in the past, to new pastures. I think he's right. You know, I have a lot of friends who know somehow I'm into crypto because occasionally I will put something out over the past few years on my Facebook account, but they actually don't know that I am doing this channel. And I have been getting more and more inquiries because I think the people who are asking me about crypto are asking me because, and they say they are looking for another way to hedge against the coming marketplace. So I do think crypto has a very, very bright future. Now, let me show you something that is, I think, very interesting. This came out on April 22nd. The World Bank predicts the sharpest decline of remittances in recent history. At first glance, it looks pretty concerning, right? And people are going to automatically think this is bad for Ripple and XRP. But for every cause, there is an effect. And let me explain what I believe the effect will be. You can see here that the World Bank is going to work with the G20 countries and the global community to reduce remittance cost and improve financial inclusion for the poor. That the remittance flows are expected to become even more important as a source of external financing for the LMICs. This is the low to middle income countries. And the global average cost for sending just $200, it still is high, 6.8% in the first quarter of 2020. Sub-Saharan Africa is even higher at 9%. Wow, too much money. So quick actions that make it easier to send and receive remittances can provide much needed support to the lives of migrants and their families. And the quote goes on to say that these include treating remittance services as essential and making them more accessible to migrants. So RippleNet technology, essential. XRP, the digital asset, the lowest cost enabler. This is going to drive adoption even faster, in my opinion. It's a very important time that's going to have a massive effect on the future. That is what I think. Okay, I'm going to jump to some fluff. So, you know, Japan is wacky, right? This is a Resona Bank, and to keep the social distancing, they have used their character. Everybody has their own character in Japan. I think I've gone over that many fluff videos, from the police department to the, I mean, everybody has their own character. And this is the Resona character. So they have places. This is, oh, Japan. It's part of the kawaii, cute culture. Yeah, it just still cracks me up. But as I was looking through the news today, just to see what was happening, I saw this picture, and it is on Japan Today. And the caption was, "A colorfully dressed man walks in Shinjuku Ward in Tokyo on Friday." And I said, oh my God, that's Tiger-san. If you spend any time at all in Shinjuku, which is a part of the inner section of Tokyo, he's been a fixture since the 1970s. Yeah, and he has a job. And yes, his employer allows him to wear his getup while he does his deliveries. He delivers papers. And over the years, people have tried to interview him and find out just what led him to start doing a mask all the way back since 1972. And he just shrugs and says that he's doing it to save the world. No big deal. So I just can't believe that that paper didn't know who he was. He is so famous for people who really know Tokyo. And after his work, he would be always spotted in the Golden Guy section of Shinjuku, which when I see this picture, this is when, of course, it was still lively and doing business. And oh, I just take a deep breath, because I'm sure this is darker than dark right now. But I hope that Golden Guy has a V-shaped recovery. And if you go to my Twitter, you can see the best video to brighten your day. This is a Japanese monk up in the Akita area of Japan, which is up north. And he is covering a Bob Marley song. And he does it all on his own, and he mixed it using only Buddhist instruments. And I can tell you, it is really worth listening to. I don't want to play it because I know that we, can't do that. I can run the risk of a copyright strike, but truly, this is a fabulous video. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.